but more than anything, it rests his heart. He might have daughters himself or granddaughters, and it gave him something to think about. So now, if we done this in Louisiana, we need to do it in Tennessee, and this is what I'm here to talk about. I got both ends of the story. I got sex trafficking, and I got youth violence, and I'm done with just talking about it. I want to be about it.
And they both seem to come together. That violence is often associated with this trafficking, and whether violence or trafficking, young people, young females primarily, many females primarily are caught up in it, and there's nothing that they can do themselves, and they need some kind of assistance, some kind of help out of this.
Yeah. If anybody just even take a chance and just run around to some of these hotels, you will see the age range has changed. There's no more 20-something out there. They are 13-something out there. And it's sad. And you just look at them dressed like I was dressed, in the short dress and the high heels and all the lipstick. And everybody pointing at them just like they did me. Look at that fast-ass girl. Look at her with all that lipstick. But then nobody reach out to say, let me do something with this little girl. She don't need to be out here. So if we stop turning our head and quit judging and reach out and support, then we are the ones that can make something different in this community, especially around sex trafficking.
Well, and Ms. Greenlee, we're coming to the end of this show for today. And I want to thank you for that excellent information. I think that this is the show that we've been trying to get for a long time, because I think it has been quite recently. And I think that, needless to say, that all of the problems that we're having across the border in reference to those young people coming across the border, I think that might be involved in some of the activities that we're talking about. And we want to talk about it later, because I think that you probably got a lot of information in reference to what's going on with that. But in the meantime, let me thank you and to tell you how much we appreciate you coming by and giving us that information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning. Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Stonewall riots and the LGBT movement throughout the United States. And we have to talk about the Stonewall riots and the LGBT movement in this world, Miss Alana McLaughlin. And I think that Alana McLaughlin is no stranger to any of my members of the audience. Alana, let me welcome you this morning, because this is the end of the third year that you've been with us, and you've made significant contributions in terms of the information that you've given us. And I think that we've said on a number of occasions that we really don't take responsibility for any of these topics, because primarily you are the origin of the real topics, and it was your idea in terms of dealing with a number of topics, and we've always had quite a bit of success in terms of dealing with the topic. But today's topic, the Stonewall riots and the LGBT movement
in
today's world is rather a very unusual topic, and I want you to sort of deal with that. But before we do that, let's get some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of eventually leading you to us this morning, and then we'll start talking about the Stonewall riots.
Well, as you've already said, my name is Alana McLaughlin. I am 11 years old. I am in 7th grade at John Early Museum Magnet Middle School. I play trumpet in the school's band. I'm also a cheerleader, and I'm heavily involved in my church, and I am also an alumna of the Junior National Young Leaders Conference that I recently attended June 1st through the 6th. Also this summer I attended SCATS, which is the summer camp for academically talented students at Western Kentucky University, where I stayed in the dorms for 2 weeks and took classes throughout the campus. Now, I got involved in the show back in 2010, and so as you said, this is kind of wrapping up my third year. We have one episode after this. And so that's a bit about me.
Very good. And Alana, let me tell you that the information that we want you to give us this morning is, as we indicated, purely information that you're bringing forth to us and that we had absolutely nothing to do. I'm presenting what we might call a disclaimer in terms of what you're about to deliver to us. But to start us off by talking about the movement itself, the Stonewall riots and events that are associated with that riot.
Well, as you said earlier, this is an unusual topic. The reason I decided to talk about this, actually to talk about the Stonewall riots, was because I previously missed all of your June tapings for the show, and I originally had planned to talk about Stonewall because the anniversary of Stonewall is June 28th. And so when I was at Western Kentucky, I missed it, and so I was